Hello, hello, hello. I'm Joan Saunders, and after 7 years, I am finally on air. I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, first of all, before I get into my topic. This is the my first podcast in person, and I want to talk to you all about the importance. Hold on, let me see if I can get this squared away. I want to talk about the importance of how to get like who to look for in a seamstress. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. This little light is driving me nuts. Okay. Okay. My name is Joan Saunders, as I mentioned. I'm CEO, teacher, and founder of the Saunders Sewing Company. And how I got founded really was out of necessity. I had to learn a trade because I had lost my job at a prestigious university, and I was very upset. I was very hurt because I worked my ass off. And I was like, well, why is this not geared towards me? Why am I losing this? Why didn't I get that? And I found out that sometimes you work really hard and you're not going to reap the benefits. And that's a stressful mindset. Like, if you think about it for a second. You are working your behind off, and you don't have jackbone to show for why you are working your behind off. And under this so-called right to work they have here in the state of Georgia, that kind of freaked me out. It kind of spazzed me out. I began to overreact. I began to have panic attacks. And one day my dad and his craziness was like, what the hell are you crying in the streets about? How about you go ahead and start a business? And I was like, man, I ain't got no business expertise. I started freaking out. I was like, oh, and I was kind of scared. He was like, ain't nothing to fear but fear itself. Just get off your derriere. Just go ahead and get your life together, whatever that meant, and make that money from sewing. And I was like, nobody's going to pay me to sew. He was like, BS. Only he said something else. He was like, man, you got to make a living. In order for you to make a living, you got to hustle. You got to work your tail off. You got to make things happen. But I began to make a lot of mistakes. And over the past 15 years, I started my business March 6, 2006. I got my license April 25th, 2006. And I began to keep working and working at it. However, there was a lot of mistakes that I would make. And back then, nobody talked about the sewing business. Nobody talked about sewing in general. It was almost like a secret society or something. I didn't know what the heck that was all about. But I wanted to express to you and express to other people the importance of the business of sewing. Now, you can apply this to other small businesses. However, there's 3 things I want the shopper. I'm not going to go to the seamstress right now. I'm switching gears and just talking to you about 3 things you should look for in a seamstress. Number 1, you want to look for their kind of like their work. When you go to a hairdresser, you're referred by somebody and you say, oh, honey, I saw her hair, so I know you can do some hair. And, you want to see their work, whether it's online, whether it's a Google review, you want to see their work. It's important that they see their work. And then also, this is kind of like a segue or a sidebar. They may not do what you love to do, okay? They might do maybe something a little bit different. For example, if they are very good at sewing, what is it I want to say here? If they do formal wear very well, okay? Formal wear is a lot different than making pillows, making cushions. This might be a little red dog beeping or something. I don't know what the hell this is. But in case it is, I'll catch up. Anyway, the other thing is you want to make sure they look at their rates, okay? If they're too cheap, 9 times out of 10, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Sometimes when it's too good to be true, it usually is. Unless you're looking for a quick fix on something that might not, last a little while, just know that, okay, I'm not going to really be, into that. but that's what, you are what you do. But however, menswear, tailoring, those type of suits, just know that that's something that you want to invest in. You want to look at their work first. You want to make sure that they're a tailor. You want to make sure, they're not sewing pillows and combining that with their suits, okay? That's something you really need to look for. And last but not least, you want to check their references. I've heard some horrible, horrible stories of people who have taken fabric and just ran off on a client. I don't understand that justification for real, because word will get around that you stealing fabric, you stealing stuff, and you reselling it. I mean, what do you expect to accomplish in all that? That's just not a smart business tactic or business move. But anyway, this is my first video. I know it's a short one, but I just wanted to get those words out there. 3 things, okay? 3 things. Number one, Number 1, check their work. Number 2, check their rates. Number 3, check their references. References can be found on like platforms, social media platforms. You can also look online, but just be cautious about online. For example, if you're doing prom dresses or whatnot, if they're putting them on a mannequin, it's a lot different than a live figure, okay? Just so you know. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to this, and I wish you most success. I'm gonna start trying to load up in podcasts, do a little more frequent, and it won't wait 7 years. But I appreciate you all talking and listening and hearing this out, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Please like or subscribe this video, and I appreciate and thank you for listening.